So we're here in the kitchen at Mapperton. I've got a nice cup of herbal tea and I'm thinking about the future of the estate. And we've got 5 farms on the estate and they vary in terms of their productivity. Some are very good pasture. We've got some decent arable, but it's clear that not all of the land here is actually terribly good for producing food. Some of it might be better simply serving the purposes of wildlife and biodiversity. So what we've decided to do is to take back one of the farms. It's called Countess Farm. I'm looking at it here on the map. It's about 180 acres. And we're going to allow a process of natural regeneration called rewilding to take place. Rewilding is something that has been pioneered in Sussex by Charlie Burrell and his wife Isabella on their estate, where they've had tremendous success letting the estate go back into a state of nature. The key thing is to try and provide a balance between the flora and the fauna to replicate the environment that we might have seen thousands of years ago when we had grazing megafauna like aurochs and deer and wild boar all living together in balance with the vegetation, because obviously these two things evolved together. The plants evolved with the animals and vice versa, and we've lost that. And we all know the trouble that we're in terms of the loss of biodiversity in the countryside here, and this is one of the ways to restore it, and we're incredibly excited about it. One of the things that we all need to take stock of is that we haven't treated the countryside very well. Intensive farming has obviously done wonders in many respects for food production, but it's rather denuded the countryside, in particular the soil. A lot of the nutrients that would have grown over time and been sustained through natural processes have been washed away because of the constant use of fertilizer and chemicals and ploughing. And I think that we all need to think differently. But where we've got land like the sort of land that we've got here, where the topography is up and down these dramatic, beautiful combes and valleys, and it's very wet, you know, it's not great food producing land. And it's really much better suited to restoring wildlife. Rewilding doesn't mean that you can't build a business, because actually there are lots of things that we can do. We can have people coming on British wildlife safaris. That's one of the things that Knepp has been so brilliantly successful at. People coming and enjoying the extraordinary range of exciting species that we have here, particularly the ones that are returning. And I think all of those things together mean that rewilding for Countess is absolutely the right thing to do, and I can't wait. I'm also particularly excited because I've got my son Nestor. He's 14 and he's an absolutely determined naturalist, and he wants to see all of our species that have been lost returned to nature.
There's a mink.
No way.
Wow, that is exciting.
And I want to do this to make sure that he and the next generation and the generations to come can really enjoy the countryside with all of the animals and the plants and the vegetation that we would have seen thousands of years ago. So we have to take various steps at Countess in order to introduce this rewilding project. You don't want to do it all straight away. But what I thought I'd do, because a lot of this is quite new to me, I'm learning, and I've been reading various books and I've been talking to people and getting some really good advice, but I thought that I would go directly to Knepp and talk to the experts. Most helpfully, Knepp has a consultant, he's a conservationist working there called Ivan de Clee, and one of his roles is to work with other estates to give them advice. And so Ivan's been to visit and he's produced this wonderful document which provides a kind of blueprint for what we might think of doing at Mapperton based on the experiences that they've had at Knepp, where they've had such a wonderful success restoring wildlife. They've got turtle doves that have come back, they've got purple emperor butterflies in profusion, they've got storks nesting, I mean, it's astonishing. It felt a little bit like walking into the African savannah. Of course, these aren't African animals, but there was a wildness, there was a thrill to the natural environment. So actually, while I think about it, maybe what I'll do is give him a call and we can let him tell us the reasons that he's so excited about Coltley, and then we can go up and look at the land ourselves and meet the wonderful Tom and Sophie Gregory, who are our farming partners who are going to help us with this. Ivan, incredibly good to see you. You were here 3 or 4 months ago, I think, doing a wonderful report for Mapperton at the start of our rewilding journey. You work as a conservationist at Knepp Estate. Knepp has really been the pioneer of rewilding in this country. As I understand it, part of your job is actually to help other estates like ours look at the opportunities for rewilding in their areas.
Well, so I'll just quickly explain what Knepp have been doing and why they've ended up being someone who gives advice. Charlie Burrell, the owner of Knepp, came out of Siren Agricultural College with every bit of modern agricultural knowledge, and he went home to Knepp to farm it intensively and to make food and to do really well from it. And he spent a number of years intensifying, getting better machinery, putting in higher inputs, and really, really trying to get the most out of his land. That land, however, was on very heavy Sussex clay, and of all the years that he was intensifying, putting all these modern practices to the land, he only really made a profit 2 or 3 years out of those, and he knew something was broken. They were inspired by a Dutch ecologist called Frans Vera about something called grazing ecology and this concept of rewilding, which is the idea that large herbivores roam the land, shaping the land by the way they graze and disturb and impact their surroundings. So whether you're a wild boar rootling and turning over the soil and creating bare ground, or you're a deer browsing scrub, or you're a cow grazing, all of these interactions shape the land and create ecological niches for other species. And what's happened in the last 20 years is it's been the most incredible ecological recovery. The wildlife gains and the biodiversity recovery has just been extraordinary for rare species, common species. Everything is just flooded back to the land, and that's why Knepp has become so well known and such a leader in sort of modern conservation, this buzzword rewilding.
And I think you'll be pleased with what we've done. So since you gave us that really stimulating report, we were talking about Coltley, which is an area of roughly 200 acres, a farm of quite marginal productive value. It's interesting, when I took Mapperton on, people would always say, oh, it's not a very productive estate, and they kind of sigh a little bit. And of course that may be true for food production, but it's not true for our own enjoyment of this beautiful landscape, but also in terms of the biodiversity potential. And so Ivan, just give me a sense, when you came to Coltley and looked at the area that we were looking at, what were your impressions and what were your thoughts about our opportunity?
Well, you'll remember I got very overexcited very quickly because it's such a stunning location. It's up the hill from Mapperton itself, and it's already, because of this low production value, as you say, it's already been managed in a fairly low intensity way. And the first thing you notice comparing Coltley to a conventional farm is that the hedgerows are already 2 or 3 times wider than they would be in a well-kept, high production system. Not only was it the sort of staggering views looking all the way down to the sea, the boggy patches, which most farmers would be worried about, thinking, oh, well, I won't be able to graze there. I immediately saw opportunities for wetlands and scrapes, and I loved it. I was absolutely blown away.
One of your recommendations in the report was to bring in some low intensity grazing with a native species. And the terrific news is that we've got a herd of White Park cattle. I believe White Park are one of the oldest English native breeds. And so that's the start. And those cattle should be arriving within the next month or so. So the journey has really And the gates are all being flung open so that the cattle can go wherever they want. We have identified a Tamworth crossed with a wild boar. I thought that might...
Oh, wow, very
really,
exciting.
really, yeah. Who's
That was great fun.
Who's due to have piglets later this year. But one thing we're slightly worried about, based on your advice, is I think you said that a single sow, they can churn up something like 60 acres. Is that really a worry?
That's an estimate made by Charlie. They open up the sward, the grass, looking for grubs and roots and tubers and all tasty things under the top layer of soil.
Brilliant. And please come back really soon.
It's going to be an amazing, well, it already is an amazing site. It'll be an amazing project.
Here we are in Coltley Farm Yard, which obviously used to be an active farm, but these days the buildings are fairly redundant and falling to pieces. I'm not sure you'd hold many cattle here as things stand. One of the things that is really exciting for me about this project, frankly, is that we found both of you who share this commitment to looking at land management and farming rather differently. But I'm leaving it to both of you to choose what we're bringing in. So tell us something about the cattle that you've found.
Yeah, so we've recently been down into Devon to a really lovely guy who's the vice chairman of the British White Park Cattle Society, who's got a great breeding herd of White Park cattle, and he's really kindly allowed us to buy some of his pedigree animals to bring back up here.
And what tell us about White Park cattle. What's so special about White Park?
There's only 900 breeding females in the UK, and they're all registered to be pedigree. They have to be registered with the society. They've got black noses, black around the eyes, black feet, and their udders as well are black. And they've got beautiful, beautiful big horns.
Yes, they kind of remind me of Texas Longhorn.
Yes.
I mean, the horns just go on and on, aren't they?
Yeah.
Which I think probably makes them a bit safer, because if they come at you,
Yeah.
you know, you're not going to get gored immediately, are you?
No, I think we did a bit of research, and we went to see this guy, and when we went down there, one of the first things I did was just ask if it was okay to go in the building and just place myself in the middle of the building to see how the animals would react around a complete stranger just sat there. And they were quite inquisitive and just completely...
Very docile.
Very docile, yeah. And really quite friendly.
Have they got names?
Yeah, one of them's called Una.
Una?
Una, yeah.
Every cow here is going to have a name.
Yeah,
is that right?
Yeah, every cow will have a name. And they've got 2 ear tags, and their name will be on there. So hopefully it would be nice to follow. We're hoping we might put some GPS on them to track them down.
We'll have the cattle here. They're what, 2-year-old heifers?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, 3-year-old.
And are they going to calve at some point? What's the plan?
So aim to get them in calf for next year, to calve next year.
Calf next year. And
then
leave the calves
with them. And then, at some point have some meat to sell to the public, which is phenomenal meat. And I'm hoping, having access to such a big area, that they'll be able to pick and choose what they like to eat. So I think the taste will be
And
another interesting thing about them is that they're not just grazers.
No, they're...
Tell us a bit
more. So what we've learned about the White Parks is they will browse as well. They're just as happy browsing on bushes and shrubs and trees as they are eating grass, which I think is really going to help with the intensity of the flavour and the sort of nutrient density, the minerals they're pulling out from different plants and shrubs and trees.
There's something about Tom, isn't there?
Yeah.
And ancient herds of cattle that sort of gets him out of bed. Because you get out of bed pretty early, but you're probably getting out of bed even earlier to make it here, to look after these ones.
Yeah, no, these are pretty cool. I think native cattle has always been in my family.
Right.
I think at least 4 generations have always been breeding native British cattle. So it's definitely something, like say, farming's in your blood, and I think it's a real interest that I've got. I have no idea why, but it's there.
Yeah.
Okay, so today we have some exciting new visitors arriving. Longhorns, 1,000 kilograms in weight, and also one of England's oldest breeds of cattle. These are the White Park cattle. Now, there are only 1,000 of them in the UK, and we have got 3 of them. They'll be arriving here in a small paddock first, as they've just spent the night in a trailer, which can't be too comfortable. So apparently they're a little timid and and skittish, so we don't really want them running across the whole 200 acres of Coatley. However, later on they will be moving over there, where they'll shortly be visited by Tamworth pigs and Exmoor ponies. Now I believe I can hear the sound of the car arriving, so let's get down there and open the gate. Just got a couple of glimpses of them, and their horns are definitely very long. Obviously we're meant to be over at Coatley Farm, but we're here at Marsh Farm. Why are we here instead of over there?
I just felt they were a little bit on edge, and
Right,
I didn't want to release them into the wild.
How long do you think that they'll be in this field? Just until they calm down, or?
Yeah, I think we'll give them a couple of days in the facilities that we've
Yeah.
got here, which will be really easy, and then we can wander them on down.
All right. Well, I think that we should take a look at what we've got in there.
Yeah, no worries.
Right, let's just start here.
Got it. Right, we'll give them a minute, and hopefully they'll
Let's stand back.
they'll find their own way out.
Oh, they've got amazing horns.
They're really well marked. They've got all the markings we want, so they should be really good breeding stock. They've got the black ears, the black nose, the black eyes, the black teats. They've never been in a trailer before, so they're just a bit scared. They're a bit nervous of us and the new surroundings.
Yeah.
So we're pretty confident after a couple of days in this paddock, and maybe we've got their bucket, we'll shake a couple of nuts, and I think they'll be right back to normal.
So we are currently walking up Marsh Farm and hoping to find the cows that we've just released. When we let them go, they just sprinted off, so I'm not sure. But let's continue up. Actually, I think, yes, I can just about see them over the top of this next hill. Now, I don't want to get too close to them because, as Tom said, they're pretty skittish and timid right now. So that usually means they might be quite aggressive. But I don't blame them, they've been in a trailer for a whole night or something.
Which, as you can see, has almost completely collapsed, which is very sad, but we're hoping to rescue it, and we're hoping to convert it into a house at some point. It's got probably the best views on the estate. But for the time being, we've got this extraordinary project of rewilding Coatley, which is so exciting, and we're starting this process of restoring nature, allowing there to be a much better balance between the flora and fauna here. I can't wait to see what things are going to look like in a couple of years, and please join us on this journey. We're going to be making more episodes. This is one of our first films, but the first of many, and we're delighted to share it all with you.
We are here today at the farm with, I'm sure, three people that you definitely will recognize. So Nestor, many of you recognize from the Rewilding, and he's got that tarantula that I have to live with. And then we've got Sophie and Tom here as well. So many of you will recognize Sophie and Tom because you've been on a couple of our episodes, glamping, and
the rewilding.
And and of course, then remember, if those of you who watched the series American Aristocrat, and I got
came milking.
Yeah, I came milking him and I got pooed on. It's very memorable. Okay, but we're here at the farm today, and we are, well, what's happening? I mean, I'm dressed for the part, I think.
Got your wellies on. We are going to move them into the rewilding project. So this is the first time. So they arrived here, calmed down, and now they're going to be released into the wild.
They're going to be released into the wild.
Yeah.
So they literally will be able to roam free.
Tell them.
Yeah, so there's we've got the 4 female white parks being moved in today. 3 haven't had calves yet. We'll be putting a bull in soon. And then we've got 1 cow, Ermentrude, and her newborn calf, Arabella.
Newborn calf Arabella, I know. So sweet.
So we're gonna, so it's an A for Arabella this year, because next year will be, any calves being born will be Bs, and then we'll follow that on.
Yeah.
So
Is that what you normally do?
Well, it seems to be what the white park people do.
So
Okay.
And
we're
so,
following.
because the three that haven't had calves yet are Poppy,
Pixie.
and
What's the other one?
I don't know, Petal.
Petal.
Poppy, Pixie, and Petal.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're following a precedent of.
Okay.
So I think that I did the last rewilding project where the cows actually came over, and I remember that they were a bit timid, but now we have a bull. So what's going to be the plan for today?
I think what we're going to do is try and keep the bulls separate for today. We've been spending quite a lot of time with the white park females, trying to keep them nice and quiet. So we're hoping for an easy loading, and then we're going to just move them slightly down the lane and let them out into the wilding park.
We've been feeding them on a bucket on some lucerne pellets, so they do know who we are now. So hopefully they'll be favourable.
And then what are you doing with the bull, which
So
is over there?
Albie the bull he's not going to move today, but he's going to go into a separate area until we're ready to breed from them, because we want them to be born this time of year, because the conditions are nicer for them, and so the gestation, so how long they're in calf is about 9 months, and so we want to put them in the next couple of months.
I
so
see.
The 3 girls will then run, and also the calf we've already had, Arabella. Albie is the dad of Arabella. So,
okay, fantastic. Albie the bull.
Yeah,
is that
Albie
right?
the bull. Yeah.
All right.
So it's all going to go really smoothly, is that right?
Yeah, perfectly.
Well, I think we'll take their lead. I think
We're in a good position. The cattle are really nice and calm at the moment.
They're having a nice scratch over there.
We've set it all up to load them in hopefully quite a good manner for the cows to flow into the
But they are
box.
wild animals.
But things you've got to look out for are
Horns.
The horns.
The horns.
The horns
Horns.
are probably our biggest
But
danger.
if it all goes wrong, we've got GPS on the cattle. So if they run off to the seaside, we'll roughly know where they are.
Let's go have a look.
Okay, let's have a look.
So we've got
Yeah, they seem calm.
They're having a little nibble of hay, and
Brilliant.
Tom's going to show them.
Ermentrude is really keen, and I think this one's Poppy, are both really keen on the nuts. So we've got them fairly well trained on the bucket, and they will just about follow me anywhere with it. But I just got to be a bit careful because
The horns.
They do like to link each other as well. They you'll see they sort of hook each other. They use them as a weapon as well as a sort of.
So they're not going to deliberately spear you, Tom, but
no, hopefully not.
but
She can be a bit
she's
protective.
not
She's
not looking
protective
where
of her.
she's going.
No.
no. We were watching them the other day and watching what they can do with the horns. Is they were scratching from their front shoulder all the way back to their back shoulder, just by
Oh my
moving.
goodness. Oh wow.
Just
Yeah.
moving their
Everybody-
heads.
Everybody wants some
So
food.
glad we went with the white park. They're so beautiful.
So no, one
aren't
of them
they?
has a necklace on. What's this lovely necklace?
So these are the GPS collars.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
Hey.
Brilliant. Oh my goodness.
And Ermentrude's
Wow.
even more. You know, she's very friendly, but because she's got a calf in there, she's obviously mindful of the calf.
Right, but they have to really sort of work their way into here to
Yeah.
get the water because of this. Yeah.
Did you see how she knows exactly where her horns are?
Yeah.
And she's barely touched the.
Yeah.
She's barely
incredible.
touched the bar.
The one at the back is the most flighty. Is that Pixie at the back, Tom?
Is that the mother of the calf?
No. The Ermentrude's the mother,
Oh,
but
right.
Pixie she's the less friendly. Yeah, least friendly.
yeah.
So she's the one we might have to watch.
And the bull is staying here.
Yeah, I'll be
he's-
staying here.
until
Okay.
until we.
He's got a mate,
Yep.
He's got an Angus.
Alan the Angus, I call him.
Tom, tell
Yeah.
us about Albie.
So Albie
Albie the bull.
the bull. What do you want to know? He is.
He's
He's big.
he's very
I think he's He's either 6 or 8, I can't remember now.
You can see the size difference between them. I mean,
Alan was 430 kilos and Albie was 1,025.
That's insane.
Look at the size difference in
head as well.
in the neck.
I can't believe you're in there with him.
He's very
Tom.
He's really friendly.
He likes to scratch.
I know, he's in with the bull.
Hey.
There we go.
Maybe he's camera shy.
He's like, leave me alone. I'm eating my food.
So this was probably the most important trait that we wanted from Albie was this, that we can be here.
Right.
And I'm happy 30 centimetres from him.
Makes me happy.
He's looking for your bucket.
This is what's the bucket. It's empty. So we can definitely, I'm confident that he's not hopefully going to produce wild calves.
Right. Right.
Arabella already is quite quiet.
Yeah, she's really friendly.
Docile, yeah.
And I think that we were wondering about this earlier, but do you know what the reason for him having a copper sort of
Nose ring?
Nose ring. That's what you call it. Yeah.
Copper nose ring.
Yeah, so they're used for
They're
handling.
For handling and for showing, aren't they?
Yeah, so the nose is really sensitive. So because he's such a big animal, if you were to tie something onto his nose ring, like a lead rein, he wouldn't want to fight you because it would hurt.
Right.
We didn't plan on using that,
Right,
but
right,
it
right.
was there. It was there already.
Yeah.
So we're going for the come on Albie, follow the bucket approach.
Yeah.
And I also use tag behind, so they'll have the collie behind them as a marker to follow, and then hopefully they'll follow the bucket
I mean, I can't believe that Tom's
rather
in there.
than being dragged.
And his balls are so big.
Yes, I think now we'll get them loaded up.
But you don't need me, right?
Well, what would actually be quite
'Cause I'm-
useful is, so what we've got to wear, they've got a flight zone. So when
Right.
you're moving cattle, when you get so far away from them, they will move either towards or away from you.
Okay.
And so what would be quite useful is I'm going to try and get them from point A to point B by positioning us in certain areas which encourage the animals to go there. So what we'll do is we'll position ourselves behind them and to the side of them.
Without
and
a fence.
Without a fence, and that'll encourage them round.
So there's not going to be any protection of me.
No.
Okay, I think
But you can jump.
I know, but this might help with my fear of cattle, fear
Yeah.
of cows. Nestor knows about my fear of cows, so maybe I'm like going to embrace my fear right now.
Yeah,
So I'm hoping that I'm going to get as much out of this as they're going to get out of this,
Yeah.
and I'm going to walk away from this with courage.
I think so. I think you'll be fine.
Really?
Yeah.
So there really is no barrier.
No, but you're quite good at jumping gates.
Yes,
just in
I
case.
do yoga. So
Yeah, so you'll be fine.
We are safe.
Yeah.
That's right. He's going to
I
live.
don't know, because if they jump anywhere, they'll jump towards you.
And they do like blonde hair.
And they do like jumping.
What, they jump gates?
Yeah.
Oh my god, you have.
Pixie just like
Pixie
jumping.
jumped a whole fence.
Yeah, she's like an inventor.
Yeah, I wish we got that on film.
Okay. Let's move back a bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Am I?
That is shut, isn't it? Yeah, 'cause they can-
This is a good place for me, filming wise.
Yep.
Where am I going to be? I feel like my husband's like sacrificing me. Like he's there filming behind a barricade, and he's like, just take my wife. Just put her there. Put her there. Her fear of cows. Don't worry about it. Right, Luke?
That's
I
right.
reckon we could use this as a training course for people who are scared of cows.
Julie, if you could come with me, we're going to go in round the cattle.
Okay.
And we're going to bring them out. And then when we're going to stay about this far apart, so we're going to act as a little bit of a barrier, and we're going to encourage them out of the barn, down round here, round the gate, and then we're going to close the gate round and up in the trailer.
And how am I encouraging them? So what is there?
So we'll just walk slowly.
We're just
behind
walking
them.
slowly.
Yeah, and then we'll use their natural flight zones, and they should just walk away from us.
Okay. So what's happening now, Tom? So what do you want me to do?
Just stay with me.
Okay.
Come on. There's only so much you can plan,
Yeah. I see what
because
you're
I
saying.
wasn't sure that one of them might have spooked,
Right.
and they might have all run out. But actually, they've
But
just
they've-
been quite happy with us.
Yeah, which is great. Thank
Yeah.
goodness. And then we just. Okay.
Okay. Then we'll just
Then
follow.
we can walk. Right.
They're deciding to leave, and then we're just going to follow them.
Fantastic. Okay, and this is the hard one. No, this is the.
So
what-
you want to go now that way.
No, Tom.
See, we're moving the wall a bit.
Okay, and we want to face her, yeah?
Yeah. But we're going to let her make her mind up.
Yeah.
But not that way. Come on, pal. Hopefully they should just turn it.
Yeah.
Come on. This is phase 1 complete.
Okay. Whoop. Here comes somebody back in.
Come on, Jake, like so. No. Go on. You can't stay there. Go on.
Tom.
Go on. You can jump out now if you want.
Tom.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Like I think my whole body is in like a state of shock, and then afterwards, you know, then you want to like vomit afterwards. So you go shock and then you vomit. That's what I feel like. Nestor, you would have been freaked out if you were in there. I wish I was shaking in my boots. Literally, you know that phrase, shaking in the boots? I really was actually doing it. And I was like, I had the fence on my right, and I was like, I'm gonna have to jump over this, but I'll spook them. And then Tom was like, you can go now, you can go now, you can go now. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going.
Think of the endorphins.
I already did that this morning with my cold water immersion therapy. I have enough endorphins to last me the rest of the day.
Just go farming, you'll be fine.
Oh my God, look at my hand. That was scary.
Oh, they're coming, they're coming. Right.
Okay. Take two. I'm not involved in take 2.
No.
Julie's died.
Nestor?
Nessa, how are you feeling?
Not great after seeing Mummy come out of that.
Now we're walking in with the ball.
I've been substituted on.
Exactly.
Yeah, so we decided the camera was spooking the cattle a bit. So we've moved the camera and the camera operator into the barn.
I'm less worried about him than the others.
That hadn't clocked that I was in.
Come on,
Okay.
let's go.
Come on.
Come on, Kaz.
Go on then.
Oh, this is so easy.
Yeah.
Go on.
Oh.
Go on.
Come on.
Go on. Go on. Come
Walk
on,
on.
Pix. Poppy even.
Go on, out you go.
Hop, 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 hop. Good girl. She's got lots of nice milk, Tom, look.
Come on.
Come on, come on. Ermintrude, go on. Her calf, she needs to see her calf. The calf
Go on,
is just
out.
not worried at all.
Are those scratch marks on her face?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
I think they just sort of give each other a little bit of a hard time
not-
sometimes.
The best time to do that.
Come on.
Come on,
No.
come on,
Stop being a knob.
come on. Come on. Good
I think
girl.
we've done a really good job of making them not scared of us, because they're just not going away.
Should we try and take the other 3? Will she be bothered by the other 3 going or not?
Probably not. So Soph's going to go that way a touch, and I'm going to stay here. If you could step back about 2 paces, that'd be perfect. We might just be able to split Ermintrude and her calf away from the other 3. That's it. No, go away. So we're just going to go in between these 3 now and push them out. Come on. Move. So at this point, you 2,
Come around the other way.
I should go back out and round rather than
Yeah.
past her.
How are you feeling, Nesta?
She's being a bit funny.
The only problem is there's someone in our way.
Come on.
Up. I don't know how he did that.
So it's the day after. I've now recovered from basically being scared out of my shoes. Tom managed to get the white part cattle into the field without my help. Clearly, that is why he is a farmer and I am not a farmer. I was just ridiculously scared, which is hilarious. But I've come to see them, so they managed to get them. I didn't help at all. I probably they're probably like, never have Julie come back here ever again to help us with any cattle. But I've got this special app. It's called Digit Animal. And we can basically, we GPSed, or we put a tracker on the White Part cattle so we can find them through this app. And sure enough, there they are. So this is as close as I'm going to go because I think we saw what happened the last time. I got a little bit closer and Tom was with me, so I felt safe because he's a farmer. I'm not a farmer and therefore I'm not going to get close to them. But that's just me and everybody thinks I'm nuts because of my fear of cows. Clearly, I've gone crazy talking into this because it causes massive anxiety inside of me, whereas everybody else is fine with cows. And I am, and I should be, and I think it's something I probably have to get help with in future because they are beautiful, and everybody keeps reminding me how sweet and lovely, and they just are curious, and they love people. I just have this fear I need to work through. So thank you for letting me vent. Anyway, here they are. This is as far as I'm gonna go. And Stephen's probably gonna get closer and Claire, because they're much more brave they're braver than I am. And I hope one day I can get past that fear and have the courage to get as close as Stephen and Claire are gonna get to.
You can each. Hello. I've not got anything. No, please don't lick my leg. Oh God, you've got a rough tongue.
A bit closer.
Hello.
Today's the reveal. I'm gonna do my tapping, which helps to keep me calm because Tom, that is Albie, the bull, which is 1,200 pounds, right? Is that right?
Kilos.
Oh my gosh, that's more than 1,200 pounds, right?
Yeah.
So we don't do kilograms in America, but pounds. So what is that? Don't even ask.
Lots.
Well, that's lots of pounds.
Yeah.
So you're gonna go get him, and you wore red. It's like.
Yeah. They're colourblind. They're fine.
Oh, I didn't know that. They're
Cow fact
colorblind.
of the day.
So what's the plan? So you're going to get Albie, the bull,
Yeah.
and.
Well, we're hoping we've got a bucket with some lucerne pellets, and he quite likes them. So we're hoping he's just going to follow.
And okay, and so where am I going to be? Because I get really nervous.
So you're going to
be with Sophie.
You're going to be with Sophie, and we've got some other guys to help because the end goal is that he ends up with the white part females, ready for breeding.
Ready? So this is it. This is the moment that and will he pounce on them when he sees them? Do we think? All of a sudden he's going to be like.
I'm not sure. He was with them in the barn.
Right.
So it might be a very gentle occasion.
Okay.
He might.
And you're not gonna there's no like collar on him with a rope to lead him. He's just gonna be like free range walking down.
No, I think he'll just wander. He's pretty
you
placid. I'm not 100% sure.
So he's like Ferdinand?
Yeah, like Ferdinand the bull.
Okay, obviously I'm really nervous, and my husband's filming this, and he knows how nervous I get. That's why I have to do tapping because it really helps me. But I feel much safer with Tom and Sophie here than I do with just my husband, because the last time my husband was filming me, they got a little bit too close. See, he's looking at us right now. Okay, so the $1 million question that my husband clearly wants me to ask is. Albie arrives on...
Cow sex ed.
Okay.
Is this what we're doing?
Yes, it is.
So, we got...
My ears are burning.
We got three maiden heifers, which means they've never been served by the bull before.
Served by the bull.
Served by the bull.
What does served mean?
Subservient? Served?
Dipped.
Served.
Romanced.
Romanced. Great word. Romance. We'll use romance. Keep it safe.
Penetrated. I didn't. You're fired.
So he's gonna romance with the lady cows.
Yeah.
But the lady cows only cycle every 3 weeks.
Ah.
So they're only fertile every 3 weeks.
Okay.
And he'll be able to smell, I think, is it pheromones? that they release. Is that right? Yeah.
These guys, the gallery.
What does the audience think?
It's like
Pheromones.
So he'll be able to smell. So if one of them is on heat, so it'll last for between 12 and 36 hours.
Right.
When we get close, he'll be head up.
Okay.
And
so we'll be able to tell.
And we'll be able to tell.
And he'll go towards.
Yeah, but there's a slim chance that any are actually bulling today. So the chances are we'll go in the field. Once he gets halfway across the field, he'll see the female cows and be like, "Oh, cows, let's go say hi."
So is that do you call it bulling?
Yeah.
When they.
So yeah, but
Penetrate.
It's bulling.
Bulling is what is the term for the females being on heat.
Oh, see, learning. I've learned like 3 new things right now in this 5-minute conversation. Super. Femaloid. What did I learn? Femaloid.
Pheromones.
Pheromones.
Pheromones. Yeah.
Okay.
It's like hormones, but
Okay,
The smelly
great.
ones, like
See, he's
Pathfinder
definitely
cow.
okay. There he is. So I'm just going to leave you because I just saw the horns, and I saw this happen, which means he could be coming here. All right. So I'm going to go jump over that fence very slowly.
Yeah.
And leave you to shake it.
Yeah. So we'll try and get him a bit closer. He's miles away at the moment. Come on, Tag. Come on.
Hello, Albie. Albie and Alan.
Annoying.
He's just not coming, is he?
He's not bothered by the bucket, whereas this one, clearly quite keen. This is what I was hoping for. But he might just follow his mate, which means we might have to bring him as well.
Okay, come on, Alan.
Because
Alan, as long as you don't breed with our
Alan hasn't got
with
any
our
nuts.
pedigree, he hasn't got any nuts.
No, he's a
Oh,
steer.
poor Alan.
Yeah, come in.
Oh God,
Oh dear. What's the chance of them actually deciding they want to go faster than us and we're slightly in the way?
So if one of the guys behind or the Land Rover hits a stone and it makes a loud noise, it might spook them,
Yeah.
and then they'll run forward.
At which point we've got 3 tons of muscle and pointed bits
Yeah.
heading in our direction.
But they'll only want to go through us, as in past us, through us. So as long
Through
as we
us,
step to the side,
not through us,
not through us, through
as in
us.
through and through. Not
No,
that
they'll
kind of
just try
through.
and walk past us. So a quick step to the side would suffice.
This is Pamplona at Mapperton. Oh, Albie. I know. I'll give you a bit of space, I think. I'll give you some space. Yeah. It's fine. Yeah. Oh my God.
That's a pity, isn't it? Just cleaning the awns.
What about this very fragile ancient farm building here?
Okay, so I just saw, I stayed way behind. When all the footage you've just seen happen, I was like way behind, obviously, but are you pleased with the sort of running towards
Yeah,
the
that was
cows?
really cool.
Oh my.
Oh, darn, it was out of focus. But that's probably just as well.
Is that what you were expecting?
No,
No.
I didn't think he'd be so enthusiastic.
Right.
But he saw them and was like, yes, that way.
So he did. And do we think any of them are on heat? What do you think? Can you...
No, I don't think so. I think he'd be busy by now.
Oh, right away.
Yeah. He's paying a bit of attention to this one.
Yeah, I saw that too.
See him sniffing?
Yep.
So if any of them are on heat, she's on.
Right, because that's...
He might even have a go if they're not on heat, just because he's a bit fresh.
Okay, so is that too close? No, they're not going to come near us, right?
No,
Because
they're
too
happy
busy.
now.
Right.
Look at
Okay.
him.
they're happy. Okay. Still makes me nervous, like standing this close.
So this is the first time the whole herd of White Park at Mapperton have been together.
Oh my goodness. But they're coming towards us.
That one is, yeah.
So
That is going the other way.
Okay, great. So this is the first time they're all together. So you've got the 4 cows, calf, and the bull, right?
We're going to some more tomorrow.
Okay, so they're walking. So I'm gonna head off. See, I just feel like when they can see me.
Just enjoy the moment.
I know,
You're fine.
I know.
Look at it. Cows, fields, grass.
Okay, yeah.
They're flirting.
So when one of them is on heat, which we think is quite soon, what happens? Just give me the whole process from beginning.
So what we've done is
end.
we've worked backwards from when we want them to calve. 9 months.
Okay.
We have chosen specifically to put the bull in today, based on when we want the cows to calve next year. So we've been advised that a good time for them to calve is April, so late spring.
Right.
When the weather's a bit warmer, because they'll all be calving outside.
Do you need help with the carving from Julie, for example?
With a really big glove.
No.
Yeah, no.
Sophie gets right in there.
Hopefully they'll. These native breeds should just sort themselves out.
Did you help with the calf down there though? I thought so, Sophie.
No, it took like an hour.
Oh right.
We happened to be on farm at that time. Sophie was weighing some animals.
Right.
And there was no drama at all. So we'll have to be a bit more careful with the younger ones because they've never calved before. That might be a bit harder, but we know Alan's proven. We know he's easy calving, which was one of the traits you look for, because of the calf that was born this spring.
Ah, okay. And that's his calf?
That's his calf.
Oh, that's his calf.
But you've got the different traits of the animal, because these are meat animals, so they'll be bred for good conformation or carcass weight. But because they're hardy native breeds, they'll be selectively bred for hardiness. They'll also be bred for their colouring, their markings, but they'll also be bred for ease of calving or fertility.
Ah.
So you don't want a bull that's going to produce massive birth weight calves, because the cow's going to struggle to get them out, and then that's going to shorten the lifespan of the cows. It's bad.
I get that. I did hear most of that, but then that one peeked up and is looking at me now.
And that's the really nasty one.
What? No. What? Oh my gosh. Okay. We're back at where we basically started, but now there's one less here. So poor Alan is by himself. He's lost his friend. His friend found female friends and preferred the female friends over Alan. So that's it. That's the end of the Albie and Alan friendship, probably forever. I don't know what's going to happen to him. I'm not going to say it on camera. I don't even want to think about it. So, because we really like Alan. And actually, I'm standing here probably as close as I've ever been to a cow on my own accord, as in they weren't chasing me. So I'm here, this is like a move in the right direction in facing my fear of cows. This is the closest I've gotten to in a super long time, because I like Alan. I think if Alan was able to calm down the bull, Albie, he could probably calm me down too.
Why don't you give it a go? Go get a little closer to Alan.
No, it's one step at a time, Luke, one step at a time. So this is it. However, right in front of me is a gate, just in case I need to leap over it. So this is good. This is progress for me. And but he is kind of staring at me. Does make me a little bit nervous. Yeah. So luckily the gate's there. And yeah, but this is the end of Alan and Albie's friendship, because Albie's gone off to help make some babies. Bye, Alan. I'm gonna go now.
We're here back up at Coltley, and we're here because Nesta is in charge of taking photos for our postcards that get sold in the shop, and hopefully sold online to all of you, perhaps.
Yeah.
Nesta, tell us what you did last year.
So last year with my own camera, which has sort of had some technical difficulties this morning. So I got some photos of some cows, some sheep, and they were made into postcards and sold in the cafe. So going to do the same again, except now this year we've got some white part cattle, and you can just about see them. Well,
we're going to
just one of them.
We're going to go and find them.
We're going to go find them, exactly.
So the deal last year, Nesta, I think, was that you were going to film the postcards, and then we were going to give you a cut of every one that we sold.
Yeah.
How much have you seen of that money yet?
None, actually.
Nothing. No, none. It wasn't a great deal, was it?
That, yeah.
But there was another exciting thing that happened last year, which is you put your photos up on an online photo library called Shutterstock, didn't you?
Oh, I did, yeah.
And guess what?
Made 70p.
70p?
Yeah.
How many photos was that you sold?
Like 5.
5 people out there paid 15p or something
Yeah.
to get your... Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Nesta is not just a budding naturalist, but he's a budding photographer. Unfortunately, he didn't charge the batteries on his camera today, so I've lent him my camera, which is a bit more complicated and a bit more precious. So Nesta, this camera...
A lot of pressure.
Yeah, a lot of pressure. I think we've got it on shutter priority. Yeah, and this press halfway down here to get autofocus.
Yep.
And then I think it's just a question of you getting into that field with the white park and finding some good positions. There's no sun really. It's quite a sort of dull day, but so I would imagine some quite nice close-ups with a kind of blurry, rewilded, culty background might look good.
Hopefully, yeah.
Should we go and have a look? Right, Nesta, the cattle have been up this end. I think it's because they're being hand-fed from over here. And when I last came, there were about 10 or 15 in the field, and here they are, including Albie. Albie, you'll remember, is the 1-ton bull. And Albie has Ermintrude, something like that, and a young calf as well. And hopefully they're so busy eating and munching that they're not going to take that much notice of us. But if they do come, at least you haven't inherited your mother's fear of cows, or what I call bovinophobia. But look at that, Nesta, you've got a lovely shot. Oak tree behind, looking straight at us. No, you just missed it. What we want. Quick.
He's
there
not
we
happy.
go, not happy. Well, not unhappy. What we won't do is get in between the calf and the mum and Albie.
Yeah, I think
that might not be a great
probably
combo.
Not.
So, but you could get some of the calf, which is just down there, whose name I've forgotten. Unless you've got good ones of this cow behind you here, eating. There, that's good. You've got nice background. Get low. One of the key things, remember, was to be eye level. Get at eye level if you can. There you go, there's the calf, quick. Lovely shot of the calf.
Oh, you have a visitor.
Very friendly. Nesta, you got some nice close ones here. Oh look, here comes the calf, Nesta. This is nice, you got a mother and daughter. They're very calm.
Yeah.
And they're just very happy.
There's another one behind.
Chewing the cud. Now where's Albie?
Yeah, I reckon.
Oh, there is Albie.
Is that one right there?
No, look,
oh, no.
There he is.
Okay.
Albie! 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 There you go, Nesta, quick. Albie!
Massive. Yeah,
look at the size of that neck. I mean, it's astonishing. I'm glad he's much more interested in that grass than he is in us. Right, well I think at this point, Nesta, given that Albie's getting quite close, we might beat a slow retreat. I think that would be the most sensible thing to do. And I can see that both Claire and Stephen are looking rather relieved at that one. So we shall let Albie enjoy the grass and all the female company on his own. Well, I'm quite relieved.
Yeah.
My heart rate has gone down ever so slightly because Albie was definitely looking at us. And I think he's also relieved that we've gone. But Nesta, the key question is, have we got the picture?
I think so. I think we'll have to see it in post-production, but because I mean, there could always be sort of a plant that's in focus instead of the cow, so you never really know. But I think I may have got a couple of good ones with the calf and its mother.
Calf and the mother together.
Yeah.
What about the wider landscape?
Yeah, I think I got a bit of that in.
Even though we had really the wrong lens because it wasn't wide enough to do that. Anyway, let's go back and put them on the computer and see what we've got. We're now back and we've got Nesta's memory card and we have put it into the computer. And this is the moment of truth to see whether any of your photos, Nesta, what do you think? Going to be any good?
Maybe a couple, I don't know. A lot of pressure.
A lot of pressure, okay, right. So let's get this going and we'll go into the... And there is a picture of a very out of focus cow.
Yeah, no, that wasn't
your best.
That wasn't a great one.
No, oh well. That's not bad. Looking right at us.
He's got some grass in his mouth.
Yeah, you're right. We needed to pull a bit of grass out. That's the problem, isn't it? You can't see. These ones are all right there, but that one's. Oh look, look at the tongue all the way over her nose.
I think I got some more with the tongue. Yeah.
Oh, you did. That's actually quite a fun one. Not sure about that. Yeah, you can't see much of the. She's really doing a lot with her tongue, isn't she? She's called Arabella, by the way.
Oh, is that the the calf? Is that?
Here's one of Claire looking like she's getting gored, but we know she isn't because she's here. I quite like that one. Apart from
sort of chopped off the horn.
You chopped off the horn, yeah. Here we go. Here comes the calf, mother and daughter in the landscape. Quite like that, except you needed the feet.
Yeah, well, the lens.
You weren't quite far enough back. Yeah, I think some of these are right.
Yeah.
Well, again,
the best are yet to come.
This one we needed the feet. Oh, here we go. Here she is, nuzzling her daughter. Oh, what do you think?
Chopped off
the horn again.
That's quite good.
That one's quite good. Yeah, you could crop that without that one there. Oh, here's Albie, looking pretty fierce, but he doesn't put his head up. Oh, that's sort of. And there we go.
It was hard because I couldn't really get.
And you couldn't get past.
Get around, yeah, exactly.
I think there are
I didn't want to go
too
too.
But the question is, Esther, what deal are we going to strike this year?
50%.
50%.
Actually, 60%.
60%. What, to make up for last year?
I think so. Yeah.
Well, okay. I tell you
That's
what.
fair.
Only if you sell over 1,000. So that would mean lots of people would need to buy your postcards online.
Yeah.
When finally the online shop launches, which your mother is in charge of. Anyway, I think that worked pretty well, and those are some fierce, scary horns. So I think we'll leave the camera with that image of Albie pointing his weaponry at us.